Yes, indeed, folks. We've got people voting in the poll. I'm going to make sure that it's really easy for you guys to get there, because obviously we just put it in the channel right now. Most people aren't in the IRC, so you need to go to tinyurl.com/cynicalpoll. That's with 2 L's, needless to say. Don't you talk about my cynical poll. Cynical poll, P-O-double-L, thank you very much. Indeed, that's the way to go. If you go there, you will be able to vote on this. We've had 388 votes already, which is pretty cool. I'd like to know if you did unsub at any point during Cataclysm due to Wrath, due to lackluster content. This is the best. This is a miracle of modern science. Dear TB, this is from Julian, Destroyer of Worlds. Most annoying moment was when ICC was still new. It was not bad enough that you had to sit through the whole "we named him Dranosh" speech every time on Deathbringer Southbank, but it became a thing on the Horde side to yell in ICC general chat. People saying over and over again, "we named him Dranosh," or "anyone know what Dranosh means?" Oh my god, it's worse than Bonestorm. It really is. We named him Bonestorm! Ah, my brain! It leaks through my eyes. Don't you dare do that again! Don't you dare do that again, Blizzard. Please let us skip the damn speeches. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna give you the Super Meat Boy. You get the Super Meat Boy for that, because that brings me so much pain that I must give you pain in return. So congratulations, you win a copy of Super Meat Boy. Drop me an email with your Steam address and I'll send it over. Oh dear. Okay, what else do we have? Horrible Wrath memories. I actually liked Wrath a lot. I liked the leveling, I loved Old War, but then 3.2 came around. I remember one-shotting each boss in TOC, then having to wait a whole week before being able to try the next one. The saddest part was that my guild wasn't even that great. We were by no means a world-first group. I remember thinking, at least faction champs might be interesting, but no! Our priests quickly found out their mass dispel button, and that was it! The guild broke up right after we downed a new Barak, most of us having unsubbed in disgust. I came back briefly to check out ICC and ran with the guild, which insisted that all raiders install and run AVRE. Oh, is that the augmented reality thing? Oh yeah, that's horrible. Well, that add-on just sucked whatever epic I might be able to find in that event, and I only reactivated a few weeks ago in 4.0. Yeah, you're damn right. Wow, yeah, guilds actually enforcing that is so crazy. Use this mod, which completely ruins any source of immersion you might have in this game. And we wouldn't want challenge, no. Everything must be fed through some kind of eye laser directly into your brain. No. I actually go for the minimalist approach these days, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even... There is no need to even use stuff like Deadly Boss mods anymore. You don't need to use it. You can tell when things are coming simply by listening for the cues. Oh, right, okay, he said this. That means this is about to happen. And plus, they've put up most of that in the game anyway. The only thing you might want to put in is maybe timers. That'll be it. I mean, I don't see any need to go any further. You don't need augmented reality or stuff like that. Of course, that's not in the game anymore. That got banned for a good reason. For a good bloody reason. Because your pathetic mods betrayed you! No. G'day, TP. Oh, it's the same guy. Okay, never mind. We'll read another one. I've got so many emails here. What else will we find in the mailbag? Will we find a deadly bear trap? We might. We might. Because people are evil, especially the postman. You can never trust the postman. Indeed. I can never trust anyone that runs around with a giant sack with that much valuable information in it. It's like a government agent. One word, the Oculus. Oh god, don't even get me started. Oh man. So horrible. People say, oh, the Oculus was, people hate on the Oculus. It's because it's bad. The vehicle mechanics in Wrath weren't good. That's the problem. They were not done right. There are a couple of exceptions, like Flame Leviathan, I think, was done right, but everything else was just bleh. I remember Malagos, and I wish that I didn't. The worst thing about Wrath ever, the badges. Yes, got a lot of people saying about the badges. I would actually like a longer email than that, but here's one. Nah, these were all really short. We don't want that. That's no use. What else do we have? Come on, we gotta have something long. That's Nax. More Nax stuff. Man, so much Nax stuff. You know what? I have a feeling Nax might not have been very good. I don't know where I'm getting that impression from. Oh. My worst experience, this is from Kate. My worst experience in Wrath is of the ridiculous idiots all running around gathering epics that are served to them on a silver platter. However, in vanilla, people actually had respect from other players when they had tier 2 on. Why? Because you had to be good to be in a guild to do those raids and pogs that didn't exist back then. And if you had that gear, it was blatantly obvious that you were a good raider. Do you think that people will get respected again for having those nice shiny epics that are actually hard to gather? I goddamn hope so. This is the best way to do it, folks. I'd like to give you one prime example of how this works. This is how this works. The coolest looking two-handed axe ever made goes by the name of the Dark Edge of Insanity. That was a rare drop from one of the hardest bosses in the game. Having that axe gave you respect. Make the coolest items drop from the hardest bosses, and that's all that you need to do. You want to make heroics awesome, you want people to really strive to go into heroics and get the gear from there, make that stuff awesome, and not just a reuse of the model with a little bit extra glow, and of course that little green thing that says heroic. Doesn't qualify, folks. Would a superhero in average slacks and a t-shirt with the word superhero written across his forehead look heroic? No. So neither does your gear. We named the gear Dranos. Oh, man. I'll do one more, then doing shoutouts, then we're done, because we've already run way over time on this show. It feels good to say goodbye to Wrath. For some of its good points, the questing, which was good. Old War, which was good. And, of course, some of the ICC 5 bands were good. And I do like the dungeon system. You know, I still like the looking for group system. I really do. I think it's a genuinely good thing. It's just the fact that it did give you a very keen idea of just how stupid a lot of people were. I'll read one more, I think. It comes from Vanderoy, from EU Draenor. Draenor, you say? Do you mean Dranos? In ICC... Iceground Citadel, which is 2 words, not 3. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, isn't it? I see. With the 35% increasing buff, people are still not able to kill bosses on normal. What the hell? When was killing stuff hard? Even when you are buffed up so much that your plate is ripped apart. This is what I hate about Wrath. Impotent raiders who think they can sit there and press 1 and believe they can just stroll through the instance without paying attention. You can. It's called playing an arcane mage. This, I hope, the shattering takes care of. I hope the impotent raiders were crushed in a landslide, fell into lava, or got pwned by Thudder and friends up in Grizzly Hills. Welcome to the Cataclysm. P.S. Stop using the... No! If you got spammed as much as I do, you know exactly why I use that. Terrible idea. We named him Dranos. Shout-out time, ladies and gentlemen. For the last show of Wrath of the Lich King, get your shout-outs in right now. What I will do, while we're doing that, is I'm going to check the poll. I would like to see how the poll is currently progressing. Obviously, I'd like people to continue voting on this one. Got 543 votes so far. I will embed it into my YouTube and things like that. I just want to know. I'm having a look at the results right now. 71% of people did unsub during Wrath due to lackluster content. 28% did not. I'll be posting that on my YouTube, on my Facebook and things like that, and that would probably be the best way to get it. I want to see if people really actually quit for it. Did they put their money where their mouth was and unsub? Did you? I do not know. But it is possible. Oh, man. What a long, strange road it has been. And mostly awful. Shout-out time, folks. Email them to themurloc@gmail.com. That is themurloc@gmail.com. I'd like to give a shout out to my buddies on the Game Station. I'd like to give a shout out to Husky, who you might have seen rolling on the red carpet with his new squeeze. You see him rolling and they hatin', but it proves one thing: nerds always get the last laugh. And a shout out to all the other guys over there, including David and Dodger, who have been absolutely fantastic thus far. Big shout outs to them. Go check out their content over on youtube.com/thegamestation. Also a shout out to the other guys that were doing good quality Cataclysm beta footage with me. OMFG Kata, Blue Zephos, and of course Zam Official. Thank you. Thank you for providing additional content for the masses, ladies and gentlemen. It's good. It was all good quality stuff. I was happy to see it happen. And it's always good to have competition. It drives you. It doesn't betray you! Usually. Sometimes it does. What more do we have? What more do we have? I can think of a few things. One of them is going to be these shoutouts. Go! Hey TB, I'd like a shout out to the ex-mentalist on Nordrasil in our new guild, Virilia. Let the Cataclysm commence, much love. That's from Zaffi. And a shout out to Lane for making 90% of the Game Station movies. Indeed, Lane is awesome. And a shout out to my guild Runs with Daggers on Burning Legion, from RPers to Raiders. Let's get us some Canada. That's from Lanx. And a shout out to Virtus Primo, Starcast for the win. That's from Tychus Finn on Argent Dawn US. And a shout out to the shiny new content that doesn't suck. Also a shout out to trollface.jpg.gif and .png, the true rulers of Anchorage, to the Troll Cave. That's from Luku. And a shout out to KRP Noctum on Outland. Bring on the cat, baby. That's from Kenneth Gorian. And I'd like to give a shout out to me for finally getting my sea turtle. Thank you for helping me get through it with your endless podcast. That's from Linus Harrishdom Nielsen. And a shout out to Aaron, Tom, and Genova, eagerly anticipating Cataclysm with our newfound guild. Yes, indeed, that's from Aaron Knowles. And a shout out to me for power leveling my warrior to 55. Well, indeed, from 55 to 71 in the past 3 days because my paladin sucks. That's from Canned on Thrall US. And a shout out to Bro Black Scream, lol, on Dagger Spine. A shout out to my new Raid Guild hybrids on Earthen Ring EU Horde side. I do hope to God we don't wipe a trillion times in Cataclysm. I hope that you do, because that will teach you the meaning of pain as your pathetic magic betrays you. That's from Maulaf, or Flittrick. Yes, it's Welsh, apparently. So, hey, shocking truth. Please say, I despise Sareth because he found Nax 2.0 hard. That's from Ryan Hood. There you go. A shout out to Gin and Tonic on Archimond US from Giron. You guys rock. And a shout out to Rock Smash's rating team on the last few weeks of downing hard modes in both ICC and Old War 10. We will get your mount, and Sydney will hit the dust soon. From Litriva and Kiraj. Shout out to Kuranai on Spinebreaker US for being epic and putting up with Wrath of the Crap King. Shout out to the Cynical Girls. We have those. And a shout out to the Shadowstalkers on Argent Dawn for keeping up even while Attendance and Lich King Heroic kept stomping us into the ground. That's from Rick W. A shout out to Blizzard for leaving Arathi Highlands unchanged. It sucks. We named him Dradosh. That's from Nymph. And a shout out to something else. Trundle the Troll from Ralph. Yes, they see me trolling. They hatin', trying to catch me, but they can't because of Pillar of Filth. A shout out to getting a job and being able to afford Cataclysm, and goodbye to Wrath. That's from Dark Call. And a shout out to Angelo and Ayutu. That's from Onin. Angelo is not a woman. Hey TB, can I get a shout out to Eternal Tormentum, a 10-man raiding guild on Cataclysm on Alliance side, Defiance Brotherhood EU. Thanks for a great show. Please don't gank me. Thank you very much. One last one. A shout out to Cowtree for giving us a shout out last week. Also a big shout out to the last show before Cat. It was epic. Yes, I did just say epic. Your fan Maya Banke. Ladies and gentlemen, good fucking riddance. I'll see you in Cataclysm. Good night.